What's up, guys? In this video, I'm gonna share with you guys how this beater, this ugly car right here, 2006 Toyota Solara, helped me save 20K. I'm gonna tell y'all the story on how I ended up getting the car. All right, so I had lost a lot of money in gambling, and this was around the time where I used to go to the casino and do a lot of stock options, but mostly going to the casino. So I'll go to the casino every day, man. I'll be stuck at the casino, and there's times where I will get a job. I mean, like, they would basically just send me an offer letter, and then I would just not even fill out the offer letter. I would not even show up for my first day and go to the casino instead. So I had a big gambling addiction, and I was just gambling almost every day, all day. So it got to a point where I lost all my money, and at that point I couldn't even gamble no more because I had no more money to gamble with. And then so from there, I had just made the decision to go back to work and try to work every day. So replace going to the casino every day to working every day. And so once I started going back to work, I would like need a new car, but I didn't want to make monthly payments, and I was looking into other cars that were like reliable. So I was looking into Hondas and Toyotas, and the newer like 2014 Toyotas, and like from 2014 and up, they're usually like more expensive. Like a 2014 Toyota Camry, like anywhere between 8 to 10K. And at that time, I didn't have that money, so I was just like, so once I started going back to work, I quickly saved up like 3K. I went in for overtime. I was getting paid like 30 bucks an hour, and at this time I had a Kia Optima, and then like the one day the car just had died. You feel me? So I had to move quick. You feel me? So I had to, the 3K that I had to like literally go buy a car ASAP. And then so I saw this Toyota Solara, and I was like, oh, this car is going to be good because it's already depreciated. So once I make my money from it, I'll be able to sell it back. It won't depreciate as much since I'm buying a Toyota. And so I met up with the guy, and then I checked the car out. AC, everything else was working, and at the time the car had about like 176K miles. And so I didn't even waste no time, bro. I was like, yeah, I'm trying to get this car. Gave him a 3K exactly. I think he wanted like 3,200 or something like that, but I was like, oh, I only got 3K. Yeah, so I gave him the 3K, got the car. I was glad that I got this car because now I can get to work. And then I started doing deliveries. So I was going in for work like almost every day, like at least 6 days a week. And I was getting tired of going to work like that much because I was doing order selecting, and it's very draining. Working in a warehouse, it was very draining. So I was like, oh, I'm just gonna start doing deliveries on my days off. And then I started only going in for overtime an extra day. So with that extra day, bro, I was making like 900 bucks at work, and then I was making like $200 to $300 from deliveries. So I was making anywhere between 1,000 to 1,200 a week. But consistently, I was making 1,000 a week every week, and that was actually a good goal for me because at my job, like if I just put in my 40 hours, that was 700 after taxes. I was like 700 bucks, and if I went in for one day full day of overtime, that's 300 bucks. I was getting paid 20 bucks an hour, and so if I went in for overtime, it's 30 bucks, and that was nice. You feel me? So I would try to go in for overtime at least an extra day every week. Doing that right there helped me stack up really fast. And earlier I mentioned my Kia Optima, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more on that because I mentioned it had died. And so the Kia Optimas, they have two kind of batteries. One regular battery where you just jump, and then there's another type of battery because the car was a hybrid. And I don't know too much about hybrids, but uh, if the hybrid battery dies, bro, those things are like almost like getting a new engine, and it costs like 6K or like 7K, somewhere around that range to replace. And I was like, bro, I ain't even got time to deal with all this because I'm like, man, I just need to get rid of this Kia Optima. And also, like the front part was missing, the bumper was missing. It was just a lot going on with that Kia Optima. So I just gave it to the junkyard for like 600. I didn't even want to take the risk and just add that 600 to a reliable car like the Toyota Solara that I was getting. And so that's what I ended up doing, and that was a good decision to make. All right, so 3 months later, I was driving the car. It was doing good. AC went out, but I didn't care because it was almost winter time, and I was just trying to push it out, stack up as fast as I can, and get rid of this car, sell it, get some of my money back. So while I was going to work and stacking up, I did have a high interest loan that I was trying to get rid of also. So I took care of my loan very fast. Like I said, I did not stop working. I was working like 7 days a week. So once I got the car, I was basically doing deliveries on my days off, like I was saying. And I almost did not take no days off for a while, you feel me? So paid off my high interest loan, kept going in for my warehouse job, and my warehouse job was actually giving out a lot of hours, and that's because I was working a warehouse job that had a high turnover rate. Like, people would get hired and they would quit the same day. Like, they was hiring like 15 to 20 people sometimes. Like, they would have a hiring event, hire like 15 to 20 people, and then half of those people would quit. And I started out with like 15 people also, and by like 5 months in, there was only 2 of us left. You feel me? So it was a very draining job, and like they make sure that you like was busting your ass every day because they had a performance. So you was looking at your performance to see like how many boxes you were picking an hour, and I think the standard rate was like 144 boxes. I don't really remember, but I don't even remember really like picking that much. So there's times where I probably hit it, but they weren't at the beginning. They weren't really strict on it. You feel me? Because they didn't really have workers, and I took this opportunity to stack up as fast as possible because I know they were gonna change things soon. And they're going to start taking that serious, you know what I'm saying? And I got to stack up before they start letting people go. So that's what I was focused on, just trying to stack up. And they didn't really care about the score. But although I would hit it sometimes, because if you hit the daily rate, they basically give you 22 bucks an hour. And so I was going for that some days, and it was actually very difficult, you feel me? Like, you would have to work like, it almost felt like you had to keep going like non-stop, like, and work at like a little bit of a high speed. And some days you just come in, you tired, you drained, you're not even trying to like push like that, you feel me? But so they started writing people, and I was like, damn, like, and then so I just try to go in for as much overtime as I can. On the weekends they had hella overtime because a lot of people were like going out getting drunk, but like I was going in for overtime. So there was times where they were understaffed and they weren't giving it out, but it was like a mandatory that we stayed for like till everything got done. And so my shift has started at 9 in the morning and ended at 7:30 p.m. But there was days where we're staying till like 1 a.m., bro. Like, we're working 15, 16 hours, and we had to work the next day, you know what I'm saying? So those weeks, bro, I was making like 1,400 taxes will come and snatch that, bro. I was making almost close to 2K. Taxes will come and snatch like 500, and I'll walk away with like 1,400, 1,500, like. And so that's why I really started doing like the deliveries, focusing more on the deliveries. And I went from working almost 6 to 7 days a week at that job to only working like my regular 4 days, and then just do deliveries all day on my off days. But there were like some Sundays where I was just going for like a half a day and make $200. So I was making like $30 an hour, going for like 5 to 6 hours, make $200. So yeah, so I was able to stack up fast because I also cut out all my expenses. Like I wasn't spending no money on nothing. And so using this car, I was able to stack up like 20K within like 6 to 7 months. And I only had two issues, which was the AC. And the AC will come on and off. There was a compressor issue, and I wasn't trying to fix it because it's probably expensive. I didn't even go to check how much it was. I was like, I'm not fixing nothing on this car. I'm just gonna sell it as it is. So, and then I had another issue too, the alternator. And this was actually my first time working on an alternator. So the alternator cost me like 200 something bucks, like 220, 240. And I just started looking on some YouTube videos on how to change the alternator, and I was struggling to do this, bro. Like I was struggling to change the alternator, although the alternator was right there, right in front of my face. It was just like my first time working on a car, really. So now I can do difficult alternators. I can work with alternators, you feel me? And I could do a few things on a car now than I would like that I know like that I did not know way before. Like even the smallest task, I was struggling with it. You feel me? So once I was working like 6 to 7 days for 3-4 months in, I really started getting burnt out, man. Like I was getting like super drained, and yeah, so I was close to my goal, and I was like, man, just push it a little bit. And so I just kept going with it. And luckily for me, bro, like I was saying earlier, that job, although we're like our performance was getting tracked, they was not serious yet. So once people started getting write-ups and stuff like that, and I was burnt out too, so I started getting a write-up too here and there. And so I was just trying to push the job out, and then eventually, like after like 8 months, so I got let go for my performance. And yeah, so my performance had tanked like crazy because I was just tired of it, bro. And I already hit my 20K goal, and then by then I was just doing deliveries full time. And then so the Toyota Solara, I had it sitting for like 2 months because I already had got another car, which was the Nissan Sentra. So I got the Nissan Sentra, and I was just driving the Nissan Sentra because they had AC, and by this time it was almost summer. It was getting hot. So I got the Nissan Sentra, and then it had AC and everything like that. Everything was good. And I was driving that. I was doing deliveries. I was doing Amazon Flex. So I finally listed the Toyota Solara, and the battery was kind of weak. But somebody, like the first person that came to check the car out, they offered me 1,500. I was saying, nah, I'm gonna try to wait for 2K. So the car, I had already drove the car to like 208K miles. So I got the car like 176K miles. Then I sold the car at 208K miles. So I did do a lot of deliveries on it. I drove my job was kind of a little far, and so it did me good for about 6 months. So that first dude that came check it out, he was a mechanic also, and he offered me 1,500. So I was just like, I thought about it for a second because I'm like, it's a Toyota Solara. I could probably get like 2K. It has a new alternator, but the battery was weak. The AC was messed up, and I was probably gonna like have to keep meeting up with people. So I was just like, man, I'm just gonna sell this car for 1,500. And I'm saying I bought it for 3K. The I only fixed the alternator, which was like $200. So that's a total of 3,200. So I took a little loss on it, but it's really not a loss because that car got the job done. Stayed reliable. Only problem I had issue was the alternator, and that was the original alternator from like 2006. That was his first alternator. That was the original alternator. So that had to be replaced. You feel me? But that had lasted a long time, since 2006, bro. That's crazy. But yeah, man, that's the story on how Toyota Solara, 2006 Toyota Solara, helped me save 20,000, man. And yeah, man, I hope this inspires y'all to get a beater, man, and just start stacking up, because, bro, like when you have a car payment, it eats away your pocket, bro. Like it just keeps snatching money from you. And I honestly don't know how people do it, bro. Like paying for a car payment and then paying for rent, bro. Like that's like like it gets expensive quick, man. And yeah, so till today, I don't even have a car payment, and I probably will never have one. I told myself if like one of my passive income ideas or something like that, like what I'm doing, like my entrepreneurship journey or whatever I'm on, starts to make some good money, like around 5 to 10K, then I'll probably have a car payment. But it makes no sense to work a job and have a car payment. It's best to just get a beater, a reliable one like a Toyota or a Honda, or even get like a 2010, 2012, 2014 one, and it's reliable, you feel me? So you'll be able to get to work and back. Man, in my situation, I was doing deliveries with it, and it still did good for me. So if you're just getting to work and going to go handle your business and going to go see family, the car will last a lot longer. Yeah, so it's best to just get a car, like just straight cash. Then you ain't gotta worry about interest, no interest payment on top of the car losing its value, is depreciating. Like, so with my Toyota Solara, I sold it for 1,500, but it's not even that big of a loss compared to getting a car from the dealership. You paying interest, the car loses value, depreciates, and then if a few things go wrong, you're putting money into fixing those, and then when it comes time to selling that car, bro, you won't be able to get that much from it. But yeah, man. So I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Do me a favor though, hit that subscribe button. Appreciate y'all. Peace.